So hi everybody, I am going for take 2 and I so apologize because what a mess I had, and I don't know that I've ever actually re-recorded anything, but I will tell you the honest to goodness truth. I felt really bad that I wasn't able to really share the information that I wanted to share with you. And so I wanted to let you know that I am going to do this again. So I'm hoping that I will not have the difficulties that I had before, and that we can get through this because it's really some great information. So I deleted my first one. This is a lesson. If it's that bad, it doesn't deserve to go out on social media. So thanks for being patient with me. I really am puzzled as to what is going on, but I know I had some problems. So love it when you join me, and I am going to power through this again, and hopefully you can get the information out to you so that you can really listen to it and embrace it and understand what it's all about. So we're going to talk about something called positivity toxicity. And so it is really another one of those things that has been something that's come out of our current situation, and I don't even want to say the word, but it's absolutely true. And it's very current research, and I think it's important for us to understand this. And it's something that we're all guilty of. It's part of our culture, and it's part of who we are. When someone expresses their feelings to us, we really try to be supportive and empathetic and really relate to them. And we don't always do that the right way. So because my whole world is all about health and wellness, which you absolutely cannot separate from your mental and your physical and your well-being, it's important to understand that these behaviors all are a part of things that we feel and things that affect our health and wellness and our well-being and our mental outlook, especially in these uncertain times. So these are things that are very simple things, but I want to give you a little mindset, and hopefully you'll be able to kind of shift some of your behaviors and even learn more about how to be positive and try to avoid something that we are calling now as a result of this recent research, this positivity toxicity. And here is what I'm going to do with you today. I'm going to tell you what it is. I'm going to give you examples of how we use it, and I'm going to give you some little exercises on how to avoid it. So for me and for most of you, these are things that we do all the time, and it's part of our natural behavior. But things are different now, and things have changed. And this more current research now is leading us in better ways to communicate and better ways to be more empathetic with people, and a better way to respond. So the information that I'm sharing is coming from just an incredibly wonderful doctor in my business, but it's also a part of a larger body of research, and I'm always glad to share those resources with you also. If you just give me a little comment in the comment section. So first of all, what is this toxic positivity? Okay, I'm going to define it, and I'm going to give you some great examples that you probably don't even think about. Toxic positivity is the excessive and ineffective overgeneralization of a happy and optimistic state in any situation. It's the denial, the minimization, and the invalidation of a genuine human emotional experience. Now, we are all guilty of that. when a person exhibits toxic positivity, they deny any and all negative experiences that make us feel human, and lives in our lives in this way every single day. And yes, it is something that we do automatically, but things have changed in this point in our world. And here is some things that we do automatically, and then I'm going to share some things that you might think about when you automatically respond to someone who's really sharing you a serious concern. So, positivity, toxic, number one, is really hiding what we really feel. It's being not dismissive, but very trite things like, oh, it's going to be better, think of the positive, things could be worse, those kinds of things. When in reality, in our current situation, that may not be accurate. We've been living with this pandemic a very long time, and it's very dangerous to be dismissive of something that a year ago might have meant something actually different. So number two, dismissing our own emotions, or possibly the emotions of other people. Also, the emotions of other people, feeling guilty for the negative emotions that we feel. So when you say something, when someone is expressing something to you, your reply actually may cause them to feel negative about what they're truly feeling. We're minimizing other people's experiences. Now, please, not intentionally, but today we're in uncharted territory. So it's very difficult, and it's wrong to say, oh, just don't think about it, things will get better. We've been saying that for a very long time. And so these everyday behaviors are taking on a different meaning. Showing others different perspectives, like it's not all bad. Well, you know what? There's a lot of bad going on, and sometimes we don't always know what it is in the period of time that we're living in. And then shaming them for their feelings of negativity. We don't do this intentionally, but the person who's receiving your comments may actually be feeling this. So I'm giving you a little bit of examples on this, and maybe when you hear these things that other people are sharing with you, and you do want to be supportive, we all do, maybe answering them in a little different way might be more appropriate. For instance, everything happens for a reason. Well, instead of saying that, maybe you should be saying it's okay to feel bad sometimes. Failure is not an option. Well, we all know that if you've done any kind of personal development, any kind of training, any kind of business training, you will understand that that is a very common thing to say. But in this day and time, maybe it's not. So maybe saying something instead like, failure is a part of how we grow. Or how about this one? It could be worse, really, and you don't know how bad it might be for somebody right now under our current situation. So maybe something like, instead of saying things could be worse, maybe you should be saying something like, sometimes we experience bad things. How can I support you? How can I help you? So that we are not denying that things are really bad, but we're really being more positive and taking a proactive step to really support them. This one is so cheesy. Always look on the bright side. Well, yes, and we hope that we can someday, but better than saying always look on the bright side, something like, yes, sometimes it's difficult to see the good in a situation, but we'll make sense of it when we can. And so you're just taking things that we say in a matter of course, and we are saying them very sincerely, but we're turning them around a little bit. So here's another really cheesy one. Think happy thoughts? Well, no, that's really hard. Because we don't always see that today in our everyday lives. We're surrounded by negativity. Instead of saying think happy thoughts, say something like, things can get really tough, but I'm here for you. Or how about, you'll get over it. So no, this has been a long haul. And instead of saying that, say something more like, it's hard, but I believe in you. Just be positive. Nope, we can't say that. We need to say, a lot could go wrong, but let's talk about what is right. And the last one is, don't be so negative. Instead of saying don't be negative, because they are telling you something that is negative, but it's important to them. Say something like, it's okay to feel bad sometimes. So I love this research because it's current. It's relevant to what we're dealing with today. And the everyday things that we're so used to saying and so used to doing are not always appropriate. So we need to be more sensitive on how we react to the everyday things. And lastly, for me and for most all of you, when you're with someone in person and face to face, there is a demeanor, there's an attitude, and there's a posture that you can relate to. And today, that just isn't even what happens. More often than not, we're talking with someone who has a mask on, who is socially distanced. And so the whole culture of how we're interacting with other people has really been impacted. So being aware and changing a little bit about how we respond is maybe something that we need to be a little bit more sensitive to. So for my friends who were on the first go round of my Facebook Live today, I apologize. I hope my technical difficulties didn't keep you from listening to the rerun. And I do want to remind you that I will post this on my YouTube channel. And I'd love for you to share that with other people, because this is something that we all can relate to. It really excited me when I read it this week. And also have a great Facebook business page that's all about health and wellness, where I share a lot more information about some science and things that may be helpful for you also. And I always love to share that with you. So thanks for joining me on Take 2 this afternoon. And I appreciate it when you join me live. I love the comments. And please share and let me know how you feel about this. And I'm happy to share resources. See you next time. Bye.